All right, y'all, welcome back. We are looking into this almost the last week of December. Markets just open. The US 500 is um, trailing the US dollar in a way, it's falling. Bitcoin is kind of trailing BTC these past few months, actually, and reflecting its highs and lows minute by minute. And it's a crazy time. There's a lot of information on Glassnode that confirms that on December 21st, Bitcoin's network of value to transaction signal reached levels not seen since April. Um, it's an interesting kind of two-way signal, meaning that it's a signal that can kick off a bear market or bull market. It's an interesting level because it's a level where not everyone has, not everyone, everyone that, a lot of people that, the majority of the investors that have bought Bitcoin now are losing their investment value. It's in the negative pretty much. And the risk is that the signal hit 18.58 now, a level that last appeared as Bitcoin declined in the final days in April. At the time, Bitcoin traded for just over 40,000, and now we're looking. It's look at it. It's 16,500. Um, it's pretty low. So I don't know. I don't want you guys to get confused of what I'm talking about here, but basically, we're at a tipping point. We're at a tipping point to enter another phase. So, this doesn't digress from my previous speech last week about price, the price history and price action. Considering there's two lows that we can trend from outside the Bollinger Band during this bear market, is that it's losing momentum on the slow moving RSI, which is a great indicator. As well as on this fast moving RSI, it's also losing momentum. So for me, that's it's looking like it wants to continue going down, even past this point here. If it does, it's fine as long as it doesn't go past this lowest point at 25.73. Because that would break the trend to a whole new other trend. That means another year to go, 2 years to go till we can refigure out another pattern. Now with its trailing the US 500, I did an easy buy-in on KuCoin. I went ahead and bought in at, well, you can't see my order history. There it goes. I closed out just a couple days ago, and basically have been I made 50% of my portfolio. I started out with 100 in the past few weeks, which is really good. I'm pretty excited about that one. Closed out at 16,937. I entered at 17,700. That was pretty good, and that was from the fact that the Fed was calling out the increased interest rates by 50 points. When that happened, the stock market just crashed on that very announcement. And since the US 500 is mirroring Bitcoin, or vice versa, doesn't matter. But then I basically hit a short on Bitcoin because there was a huge, as my last lecture could tell you last week, that it was set to go down. Just because of this really long pattern here on this fast moving RSI. It was overbought for way too long, for over 2 weeks, which puts me at a good advantage point to take advantage of that drop, which I did. Now the ball didn't drop too high from the ground. It looks like it wants to continue to go down, but I'm a bit reluctant to do that because I don't see any solid reason to believe that it's going to do so. I haven't formed a strategy for my reasoning yet. And so, anyways, guys, I just want to keep talking about a couple things. I don't know if you guys have heard about Glassnode, but there's a lot of information out there that this guy's giving. It's really good because he's a statisticist, and it's just an interesting point of view with information that it pretty much coincides with what I'm going at, which is great. So my next entry point with the market is so it's hitting a support level here. Once it goes past this, which it did today, once it goes past the support line and it hits outside the Bollinger Band here, then that to me is an entry point into the stock market, where I look at all the undervalued stocks. I look at my watch list with Michael Burry on the big shorting his stocks that he's watching and invested at this moment. All the consumers, all basically the index funds, sector funds here. And I also have another one. T-Mobile is also another one. United, it's been going pretty strong. And amongst all the big ones, Apple, Microsoft, Nvidia, blah blah, Google, I'm just gonna smash into definitely before it kicks up again. At the moment, I'm not caring forward any job at the moment. Just visiting family and taking advantage of the time spending with them. So that's it. That's all I really have, y'all. There's nothing much here to talk about. Like I said before, I'm waiting for that market to drop down. That market to drop down to hit the support line back on the Dow, which I think it just is Dow. I'm not even sure. Yes, it is the Dow. And once it hits the Dow, it's a rare thing for the US 500 to continue a trend beyond 1 year. This is coming from analysts and on Market Watch. It's a pretty rare event. So let's keep calling it a rare event. I want to see that candle keep going down for the rest of beginning of the year, until it hits, because we have a few more candles to go to, a few more weeks, meaning, to go to till it hits that point. And when it does, I would really like to see the divergence, keep going down, the next period. Once it hits this area, keep going down, losing momentum along the way, and making a aggressive entry point. This isn't just like entering the stock market with a few $100s. This is thousands and thousands of dollars invested. I'm calling a bluff on the Fed after that period. I don't think they'll be creating any more hikes, and if that, very, very little, because they've already done so much. They've already hit, triggered alarms for recession. It's insane. So at this point, look, I'm gonna look for an entry point just to humor you guys on the 5-minute. Looks like there is a bit of a good entry there. There's a bit of a bounce. I think it's too early to call in a short, and too risky to call in a buy. So I'm gonna hold back. But I just want to conclude that last thought of buying in. Once I do, I'll be announcing a live video, or coincidentally with another scheduled video on my latest trades. So all the best to you guys. Remember, I'm turning trash into cash. All the trash I found from beaches and roads and all of my travels, turning it into the cash, investing it to give back to the people, to teach people about land use development, permaculture, how to design and implement their houses and their properties. That's what that money's going back for, is to create a better place to live. And that's my thing, y'all. So keep positive, stay warm, stay healthy, be with your families. Happy holidays, y'all. See ya.